Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I'm here to finally, it took a little longer than I initially wanted to, but I'm finally here to do my Q&A for hitting 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. You people are awesome. Now, I have 20 questions here, or I have 20 people. Some of them have asked more than one question. But let's jump right into it. First is David Reemkes. What was the first movie you saw in the theater? The first movie I ever saw in the theater, well, technically it was A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master, because my mother told me that she took me to the theater to see that when I was like, I don't know, 8 months old or something. Like I was a baby. So I don't really remember it. Although, whenever I do watch the movie now, I get a weird feeling at that scene where Alice falls asleep, gets sucked into the movie theater screen, and Freddy Krueger feeds her the heads on the pizza. Like, for some reason, that almost has some weird, like, maybe I do remember that subconsciously. But the first movie I remember seeing, like, I can physically right now think back and remember seeing Jurassic Park in the theater. I was only like 4 years old at the time, but I'll never forget seeing the scene with the T-Rex coming out into the rain for the first time, and just how shocking that was, seeing that as a kid and how real it looked. So that's why Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all time. He also asked, when was the first time someone recognized you from your videos? The first time, it's only happened a couple times. But one time I went on the train and somebody came up to me and was just like, do you do YouTube videos? And I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan, I watch your stuff, and talked to me for a little bit. And that just surprised me because, again, it had never happened before. Sure, people that I know, friends of mine, have come up to me and said, hey, I check out your videos, it's good, all this stuff. But somebody who you don't know to come up to you and say, I recognize you, I watch your stuff, that was cool. Alright, number 2, Iceman118851. Can you revisit and review The Dark Knight for the 10th anniversary? Yes. Yes, yes. Because The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time, and this year 2018 does mark the 10-year anniversary. I can't believe it. Can't believe it's been 10 years since I saw that film in the theater for, I think, 5 times, maybe 6. It was the most I've ever seen a movie in the theater. I just kept going back over and over again. I love this movie to death. So any excuse to talk about The Dark Knight, rewatch it, review it, I will take that chance. So hopefully soon. Hell, I was even thinking about doing some Heath Ledger movies. Like, take a month to just watch, I don't know how many great movies he had in his career. I've only seen some. So maybe I'll pick like 5 Heath Ledger movies. Number 3, Burt Rodriguez. Congratulations, man. And my question is, can you rank your favorite superhero? Can I rank them? Okay, let me pull this up because I actually did make a list for it. Alright, so obviously my favorite superhero is Batman. Sure, he's rich, but he relies on himself to get that training, to get that self-discipline, to get in that mentality. The whole he doesn't kill thing. I know some people think that's silly, but I respect that. I respect that that's what separates him from any other hero that kind of looks at it. It's just easy to go out there and kill criminals. The Punisher does it. So Batman, his backstory, there's so many good things with Batman, obviously. Let's move on. Number 2, I would say Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he is funny, but he's at the core, he's a nerd. Peter Parker, he's just a kid who you know, can't fit in, has all of these real life problems. Once again, when you can relate to a character like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, it's the best to me. Number 3, and when I was a kid, I never would have said this, and maybe even when I was a teenager, up until a few years ago, I wouldn't have said this, but number 3 right now is Captain America. That's how good the Captain America movies, Marvel movies, Chris Evans has been as his character. Just the way that they do his origin in the first Avenger, and how it's set in the 40s, and how you see how good of a man he was before he got the super soldier serum. Seeing him wanting to fight in the war with the Nazis, and just his progression through all these movies, how he stepped up as the leader, how he's even overtaken Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, as the leader of the Avengers. Like, this guy is true to his core, he's true to his beliefs, and Civil War showed that as well. Number 4, Superman. And Superman jumped this high on my list because of Smallville, and I know that sounds funny to some people, because I would watch the Chris Reeve movies when I was a kid, and I thought they were fine. I didn't grow to appreciate the first two till I was older. But it was Smallville that caught me at the right age, caught me like I was in middle school, high school, and I would watch them, and again, it was Clark Kent as a teenager. It was Clark Kent in high school, dealing with high school issues, and seeing him grow to develop his powers, and how well I think that show, especially the first 4 to 5 seasons, dealt with the family stuff, Jonathan and Martha Kent, and the side characters like Chloe and Lana. Like, that got me super involved in Superman. I'll go faster. Iron Man is number 5, obviously, and especially Robert Downey really solidified him in that spot. Number 6 is Wolverine. I almost can't imagine somebody else besides Hugh Jackman playing him, but it's going to happen at some point. Number 7, the first female on the list, Batgirl. If anyone wants to know who my favorite like DC female superhero is, it's not Wonder Woman. She's cool, but Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, has always been my favorite. Number 8, Deadpool. He's another guy who a couple years ago jumped up there, spiked up there. Ryan Reynolds especially amazing. Number 9, The Flash. This too is because, well, the TV show has gone through a bit of a dip, in my opinion, but the first 2 seasons are amazing. The first season made me fall in love with this character, made me fall in love with his story, his backstory. The finale made me cry, like bawled. So yeah, and then number 10, I went outside the box because a lot of this is DC and Marvel, and I wanted to think about somebody who's not really in that category, and who I really just enjoy watching. Hit Girl. Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass movie, especially the first one. I think Chloe Grace Moretz was such a better actress when she was that young, even in comparison to now. Number 4, Ryan Andre. He says, Final Destination franchise, please. Sure, I want to review the Final Destination movies. I love most of them, not all of them. So definitely, I don't know if I'm going to save that for my 31 Days of Horror, because I like doing that every year. Or I might just do that separately if people don't want to wait. Number 5, The Movie Dude 0123. Will you review the Donnie Darko and Heathers? You know what? Yes to both, because Heathers I've never seen, but that's a movie that I've been hearing about, especially lately. Just like the high school type film with a bunch of female characters, and I think I looked it up. Looks interesting. And Donnie Darko, I've never seen either, but I do own it. It is in my collection. I have so many movies in my collection that I've never watched before, so that's something that needs to happen. Number 6, hey internet, Eric here. Dude, congratulations, thank you. I can't thank you enough. You need to celebrate by re-reviewing the Leprechaun movies. No! I reviewed and I watched all the Leprechaun movies. I don't know how many there were. There was like maybe 7 or 8 of them. Because you bring in when he goes to the hood, he went to space. No, I can never watch those movies ever again. It was literally one of the franchises, horror franchises, that I tried to give a chance to. Hellraiser was one of them, where I hated all of the movies. Like, there wasn't one good movie in the Leprechaun series. Why would I rewatch that? No, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't. And the Toxic Avenger films, I've never seen those. Along with Meet the Pebbles, or Peebles. Not the best way to celebrate, but still. He just made it to 300 subs. Love your channel. Well, thank you. Number 7, I Hate Facebook 31184. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on these movies. Goodfellas, The Craft, Casino, Tales from the Dark Side, the Karate Kid franchise, and Tales from the Hood. A lot of those movies I do want to review. Goodfellas I've never seen. I haven't seen a lot of those mob movies. I really haven't. I bought the Godfather movies recently, hoping to watch and review them. I just haven't gotten to it yet. The Craft, I want to watch that too. Never seen it. Casino, yeah, never seen it. Karate Kid, I've seen the original and I've seen the remake. That's all I've seen. So watching the whole franchise is something I'm open to. Number 8, Sober Dragon First. Who would you cast in season 4 of any future installment of Scream? Who would you make the killer? Who would you cast as the opening kills? Okay, well, the Scream TV show I've talked about so many times, and you know what? I do like talking about it. I do, because I'm fascinated by how this show could be so bad, but they're so desperate to try to make it good. I almost want it to still be bad because it's funny to see how bad they can make it. But if we're doing a Scream movie, let's say a new Scream movie, it would break my heart to see it without Wes Craven, but we don't have a choice there. So opening kills, honestly, I would kill off Courtney Cox and David Arquette, and I don't, you know, there's a part of me that doesn't want to see that either. So if they don't make the movie, that's fine. That's like, okay. But I always respected the Scream movies for being bold, for not being afraid to kill off major characters. Obviously the first one was Drew Barrymore, the biggest star of the movie, and that was great. The second movie, as much as I hated it, they had the balls to kill Randy off, and that's still something that, like, I hate, but I also, in a weird way, respect. The third movie, they killed off Cotton Weary, Liev Schreiber. And in the fourth movie, they just killed off a bunch of celebrities or a bunch of people. This one, you gotta kill somebody to make it, like, if you just killed Courtney Cox, for example, that could give Dewey, David Arquette, something to do in this movie, like put him on a path. And whether you kill him by the end, I still would want Sydney to come back in some way or form. I liked her role in the fourth movie, being the older cousin and seeing the younger generation. Who else would I put in the movie? Chloe Grace Moretz, talking about her. She makes sense. She's just somebody young that, you know, I don't really know how many great movies she's been doing lately. I like Neighbors 2, okay. Emma Stone, like, in a perfect world, I would love to get her in a horror movie, but she's so far, like, out there now, in a good way. Like, she's kicking ass in movies. She just won an Oscar last year. Like, she's doing great. And I would do a swerve. I would do what they did with Dewey in the first movie, where he got stabbed, and I think originally he was supposed to die, but they kept him alive. I would say that Kirby didn't die. Sure, she was stabbed a bunch of times, but look, I'm not saying it's easy, but you can say she survived that. And she's one of the few survivors of the last movie. Hayden Panettiere is a great actress, and I liked her character. Being a film buff is something that they need to bring back. Number 9, Robert Thurmond. Chucky franchise reviews, unless you've done them. He's new to the channel. I did do the Chucky franchise, but I did that so long ago, and the qualities of them aren't that great. The only reason why I keep them up there is because they've gotten so many views, which, who knew that Chucky was such a in-demand, in-view series of reviews that people wanted to see. So I might re-review them one day just to update them. Number 10, Break Ops 17. Will you start adding unboxing videos to your channel? Yes. I mean, I just need the boxes to do it. I do have an Amazon link on the front page of my channel, and it has a wish list on there. I'm not trying to say, hey guys, buy me some stuff, but obviously if people did buy me stuff that's on that list, I would have something to open. I mean, I know some people just, they go out and buy stuff themselves, but it's like, well, if you already bought it yourself, you know what it is. I kind of think the cool thing about unboxing videos is when you don't know what it is. I see people who have like a subscription to certain things that send you gifts every month, and you open that not knowing what they are. That makes sense. So if I start getting some cool things from you guys, I will do unboxing videos of them. That's for sure. Also, are you still writing scripts? I remember one Q&A where you mentioned you were writing a horror movie script. Is that still happening? Yes and yes. I'm always, like, at least trying to come up with ideas for stuff. The horror script is done. It is written. The problem is that, like, I have people who are interested and involved, but it's like it's getting them committed. It's getting them like, hey, we're really gonna do this. And I have a couple people who want to do it. A friend of mine who he too has a bunch of ideas for scripts and certain videos that he wants to do with me. So that probably seems more likely. But I'm not gonna give up on that horror script. I like it. I am interested in doing it. He also has some requests. Can you review the Never Back Down trilogy? Never Back. What is that? Never Back Down. Is that the Channing Tatum movie? I might be wrong, but I remember seeing previews of it. I've obviously never seen them. I will look them up. Have you ever considered reviewing the Step Up films? You know, I mean, I don't know. Those movies never really looked that interesting to me. I'd be more curious to look back on like the first one with Channing Tatum, because he's grown so much as an actor. He started as somebody that I hated and then grew like respect from me and everyone else. Like, so to see that, and then the second movie, I haven't seen any of them, but I know the second movie, Brianna Evigan is in it, and I like her. I haven't seen her in anything in a while, so maybe, who knows? Will you consider re-reviewing the American Pie movies? Yes. One of my first videos of yours was the rant on Book of Love. I subscribed after that. It was hilarious. Yes, those were other movies. Yes, those were other movies that I reviewed a long time ago. Some of my first videos I reviewed, and I ranted on all of the direct-to-DVD sequels. If you don't know about them, there were like 4 direct-to-DVD sequels of American Pie. So watching those will be a chore, but I definitely want to re-review those movies for sure. Number 11, Matter Crafter. Hey Mike, love your channel and your reviews. Thank you. Could you at some point review the Tremors franchise? Yes, that's another. Those are, like, I have a list of horror movies and horror franchises that I want to do either on 31 Days of Horror or whatever, and that's one of them. Also, what is the worst movie you've ever seen? Oh, whenever I get asked this question, the same couple of movies sort of dance around in my head. Milo is a movie that only up until like a year ago I forgot the name of, and because I tried to block it out of my head, and then I reviewed it for my 31 Days of Horror. It's terrible. It's still terrible. The Crow, Wicked Prayer, is one of those movies that you can't believe how bad it is. It needs to be seen to believed to see how horrible the editing is, how horrible the acting is. Horrible. It killed the Crow franchise dead. And I don't know if we'll ever see another one after that. Or it could be the Human Centipede 2, just because I remember watching the first one, I was like, oh, okay, that's not great, but still not horrible. And then the second one is everything that I thought the first movie would be, as far as seeing these people sewed ass to mouth, seeing the shit come out, seeing the deranged killer and the horrible story to it. It was just horrible, horrible. Number 12, Kieran Martin. After Black Panther comes out, can you rank all 18 MCU films to celebrate Infinity War? Yes, 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 especially because of the recent news that Infinity War is coming out a week early, April 27th. I am so ecstatic. I am so happy. I don't care what the reason why they did it was. I don't care if it was because of Solo or if it was because of spoilers. I'm just happy to be able to get this even just 1 week early. That's how much I can't wait for this. So yes, I will. 13, Comic Man 3441. Congrats. Thank you. What movie are you looking forward to this month? Well, he probably wrote this in February, even though I'm doing it now in March. So February, it was Black Panther, and it was amazing, so it lived up to the hype. If we're talking about March, Pacific Rim, I'm very curious about, and I even want to rewatch the first one because at the time I didn't love that movie. I just kind of liked the action in it, but the story I thought was bland. So I want to rewatch the first one, see if my opinions change. And then I can't wait to see the new one. The new one does look interesting. And then Ready Player One. I think that's, like, I'm so curious about that. It might not be great, but it's Steven Spielberg, and it's an interesting concept. Number 14, the Hypercam Clips. How about a review of the TV series Freakish? Would like to hear your thoughts on horror TV shows more often, because I don't think you talk about them that often. Well, I've never heard of the TV show Freakish. I gotta look that up. I assume it's horror. If it's good, then I will gladly watch it. The only horror TV show I guess I do talk about is Scream. I used to talk about American Horror Story, which I still watch. The show is still interesting and inventive and different every season. I also talked about Scream Queens, but people don't really consider that straight horror. It's more of a comedy. Number 15, Darth Vader 21. Can you review Stronger? Stronger, I believe, was the Jake Gyllenhaal movie from last year, and I heard really good things about it, so I was interested in seeing it. And he has a second question. What do you think of the new Venom trailer? Yeah, I haven't talked about the Venom trailer, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because if I had done an initial trailer reaction for it, I would have crapped all over it. I would have said this is horrible. It doesn't show anything. You don't see Venom. And then you have people saying, and I've heard people, and it makes me think about it, it's only a teaser trailer, so there's that. They're actually holding stuff back, which sure, that is good. That is good. And look, it's Tom Hardy, it's Michelle Williams, it's Riz Ahmed, it is a great cast, and it does have a dark tone to it. I just think that the teaser itself didn't show me anything special, didn't show me anything that stands out as, wow, this is different, or this is going to be something innovative. You get one shot of the symbiote, and then Tom Hardy freaking out for the last 30 seconds. I wanted to see at least, not even just him full on, but I wanted to see just a quick glimpse, a quick tease of Venom in some way, some form. Hopefully the next trailer, though, will show that. I haven't written this movie off yet. 16, Ebony Love. Hi there, I have a question for you. Will you still review Supernatural Season 13 if you get the chance? Yes, I'm still watching Supernatural. It's just, I don't review everything because it's so much. Especially TV shows. I am watching a ridiculous amount of TV shows. I'm talking about Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Supernatural, The Walking Dead. And I feel like I'm the only person still watching The Walking Dead. Nobody's talking about it anymore. But it's so TV shows, it's such a weird thing to try to pick. Alright, I'll review the first season premiere episodes, and then maybe the mid-season, or definitely the finale. I try to do that. So we'll see. 17, Hey Jones. Which movie would you rather watch? The Bye Bye Man or VHS Viral? Ugh. Okay, so VHS were a series of movies. I think there were 3 of them. And I really liked the first one. The second one, I think, had its moments. I think Viral, is the third one. And I hated it. I hated it. It was something that started off like a cool concept and then just deteriorated more and more. It lost track of, I think, what it was trying to do and just went so outlandish and out there. But honestly, I would rather watch that again than The Bye Bye Man. The Bye Bye Man was so bland and boring and so just dumb. It just, at least VHS gave me an emotion, gave me a feeling to it, good or bad. Bye Bye Man was just blah. Number 18, Alpha Male Row. Review Candyman. I want to. I haven't seen Candyman since I was a kid. I remember being terrified of it, but I have a feeling I'll watch it now and it won't really hold up. But sure, I'll get to it. Number 19, Raven Hall. It would be cool to see an original versus remake series. I have some of those. I took original movies and compared them to the remake and went back and forth on the characters and stuff that happens in the movies, and I came up with my own verdict on if they were better. Now, maybe this person's asking for more of those, and I should do more of those. I like doing them. They were fun. And if you're thinking of doing any TV shows, I would recommend Netflix show Black Mirror. Congratulations on 5K. Thank you. Black Mirror, yes, it's something that I've heard so much about, so I should get to that. All right, number 20. This is the last person, but he's asked a whole bunch of questions. So let me try to go through it quick. All right. Future Filmmaker 39480. Favorite Arrowverse female characters, or a female character from the Arrow TV show? I would say Sarah Lance. I know she's on Legends of Tomorrow now, but I loved Sarah Lance as a character. starting from season 2 of Arrow, where because at first it's like, wait, Laurel's sister is the Black Canary? That's weird. That doesn't match up to comic book continuity. But she took the ball and ran with it. She made that character her own. I liked her more as the Black Canary than even Laurel, or especially this new Dinah Lance that they have on the show. Sarah is the best thing about the Legends show. That actress is great, and her being the leader is great. Favorite movie posters? Oh, favorite movie posters. Well, you know what I like? I liked the original art of the Star Wars movies, like the original 3 Star Wars posters. How it was like a painting, or drawings, or just like it was very creative, and I wished more movie posters did that today. Like even the current Star Wars posters don't do that. They just take all the characters and splatter them all on a poster. I like the drawings. I like the creativity. I like getting an artist to make it work. The poster of Batman, it's like Batman's back and he's looking out into the city window, and you see the city, and it's just like that's his responsibility. It's a picture that says so much with just such little to it. My favorite Batman female characters, well, I said Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, which is probably why I hate Batman and Robin as much as I do. Like, it's not the bat nipples, it's not the Schwarzenegger one-liners, cheesy lines, it's not even the goofiness of the movie, which is all bad, but it's Alicia Silverstone as Barbara and how they butchered that character for live action movies, and we haven't seen one since. But also I want to mention Selena Kyle. She's up there, whether it's Michelle Pfeiffer or Anne Hathaway. I love both versions of Selena Kyle. Favorite James Bond actor? As much as I really admired and appreciated Sean Connery when I watched all the James Bond movies, he stood out as somebody that, like, wow, no wonder why people say he's the greatest. But for me, it's Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig was somebody who, technically Pierce Brosnan was my first Bond, but Daniel Craig just took it into such a gritty, realistic direction, and the way how he plays Bond as like a tortured guy. I know that's not everybody's Bond, but to me it's the most interesting, well-versed Bond that you can do a story with. Favorite James Bond girl, Eva Green. Because back in the day, the Bond girls were just, hey, here's the hot chick for Bond to bang. And then most of them would get killed by the villain. Where Eva Green, yeah, sure, she fits some of those qualities, but I do think there was a lot more to her. And Eva Green as an actress is amazing. Her role in Casino Royale and her back and forth with Bond, you could buy her as somebody that Bond really would have fallen in love with. Favorite guilty pleasure movie? Oh, man. I mean, Jennifer's Body, I guess technically, because everybody and their mom hates that movie. Hates it. Like, I can't tell you how many people, when I mention that I like the movie, they laugh. And they say, what? You have horrible taste, or you only like it because of Megan Fox. And I'm like, look, I'm not saying that's entirely untrue. I'm just saying that I like the movie itself. I can sit down and watch it and have fun with it. It's goofy, it's funny. What camera do you use for your reviews? I use an HD Canon. I want to get a new one, but right now it's HD, it does the job. What kind of editing equipment do you use? You know, when I was in college, I would use Final Cut Pro, which I loved because you could do so much with it, but on this computer, I use Windows Movie Maker, which is something that came with the computer. It's not anything special. It's bare bones. Favorite Fast and Furious character? Well, I always really like the Brian character, Paul Walker. It's not just because of him passing. It's really the first movie. I really enjoy his story of going undercover and getting close to this family, and then being conflicted on helping them or not. I mean, that's what made Paul Walker a superstar. And obviously when The Rock showed up in the 5th movie, it just was this new level of badassery. And it's the baddest I think The Rock has been, as far as like, I'm a no shit taken, no nonsense type of guy, and you believe it. Can you do unboxing and more franchise rankings on your channel? Yes. The unboxings I talked about, I just need stuff to unbox. It sounds funny, but no, seriously, I have a Amazon wish list. If you want to buy me some stuff, I will make videos on it, sure. And franchise ranking, yes, I will do that. All right, his last question, which is the last question of this Q&A. This has gone on for very long. Favorite Planet of the Apes film? His favorite is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That's mine too. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is great, and even when I watched all of the original ones for the first time, I thought the original was amazing, and that cliffhanger was like, whoa, mind blown. All right, guys, that's my Q&A. Hopefully it didn't go too long or wasn't too boring. I hope you enjoyed these questions and my answers. Hopefully we can get me up to 6,000 now. I'll do another one, or I'll take more reviews, requests, whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!